This is a very powerful method for improving any relationship you have in your life whatsoever, whether it's your boyfriend, girlfriend, spouse, parent, child relationship, friendship, any very deeply personal relationship in your life. Are you ready for this absolutely mind-blowing Einstein level genius advice that I'm going to give to you? All right, you got to prepare this. You got to write this one down. Okay, I want the pencil and the paper in your hand. You ready for this one? Undistracted time. That's it. Spending undistracted time together. A lot of people nowadays are just on their phones when they're together, and like they always need to be just distracted in something. Just sit with the person and give them your full focus. Just give them your full attention. Actually dedicate time to doing this, right? If you're a parent, this is one of the best things you can do for your child. Giving people your full focus actually says quite a lot. It actually says that you're important to me. It actually makes them feel valued. People instinctively and intuitively know when you're not giving them your full attention, it's because you don't care. It's because there's something else that you care about more, and that's why you're not giving them your attention, right? So if you're sitting there with your girlfriend, she will be very sensitive to the fact that you're not really present with her and you're just scrolling on your phone or just like zoning out. She will actually feel like you do not value her, right? And she might not even consciously recognize that, but deep down, that's going to click in. She will subconsciously recognize this. She will feel the emotional byproduct of that, whether she even knows it or not. And it's going to impact the very fabric of the relationship that you have. So just giving people your 100% full focus shows that I actually care about you, I actually want to spend time with you, I actually love you. When, for example, with the parent-child relationship, when a parent does not give their child their full focus, especially at like crucial moments when they need it, the child interprets that as a form of rejection. And even as grown adults, we also experience it like that in a lot of cases when people, don't give us their full attention. But especially a child. A child is very, very sensitive to the sort of underlying dynamics that are going on. A child is really feeling all of the underlying emotional dynamics that are occurring. When a child actually needs a parent's attention and they're not giving them their full attention, what that actually subcommunicates is that they don't care about the child. Right? In this experience, even though like to a parent's point of view, like that's absurd. I care so much about my child. I love my child. But in that experience, there was something that you cared about more than your child, right? In that moment, and your child felt that, right? Because if you weren't giving them your full attention, something else was getting it, and you cared more about this thing. You're absorbed in something else. It subcommunicates a form of rejection, a form of you're not, it can subcommunicate, the child can interpret it as not being worthy as well. Like it subcommunicates rejection, right? And in a lot of cases, a child can actually begin to overcompensate, right? They can try and do other things to get the parent's attention, like cry, scream, kick, just start doing things for attention, right? Because the child doesn't really know what else to do. Simply giving people your full attention attunes you to them at a deeper level. When you give someone your full attention, it's going to deepen the connection, right? And the connection is going to build over time. And the sense of distance is going to begin to collapse. The sense of being one with one another is going to begin to arise. The sense of like losing your sense of self in the connection is going to arise. And this doesn't mean that like you have a weak sense of self. I'm talking about having an integrated, pretty strong sense of self and a healthy sense of self, but also having a deep and meaningful and fully focused connection so that the boundaries between you and the rest of the world begin to kind of dissolve. You begin to realize your oneness with all beings and the world around you. So simply just having undistracted time together is a very natural way to also heal a relationship. You just build up the connection, you connect deeper, you begin to really feel the emotional nuances of the situation. Like pay attention to the pure feeling of connecting to people. Pay attention to the feeling of the connection, the feeling of the emotional exchange, the feeling of just looking at each other, the feeling of being in the environment that you're in with the other person. Because there's almost like sort of just underlying energies that are going on that you can detect strictly through feeling, right? And you need to learn to clue in on those things. Typically, women tend to be a bit more aware of it than men. Men tend to be a bit too rational, and rationality doesn't work whatsoever when it comes to detecting some of these dynamics. Rationality is really good for doing your taxes on time and being somewhere on time, right? Or getting some kind of very logical job done, like hitting a, I don't know, nail with a hammer at a specific degree, right? But it's not very good for picking up the subtle underlying energetics of a relationship. So too many people are just spending time completely distracted. They're spending time not truly connecting with each other. And we have to really notice the impacts that this is having in our personal lives, with our very personal relationships. If you have a child, one of the best things you can do is to actually dedicate time to just giving that child your full attention. This is going to really make them just like love you and feel appreciated by you. It's going to make them feel worthy of your attention. And there's certain times in your day and in your relationships that it's extra important to actually give them your full attention. There's certain times where your kid actually needs it, like they perceive it as like a need, right? It's like they absolutely need it, but maybe you're caught up in something else, or you're stressed about work or something like that, and you're not really able to fully be present with your kid. Kids actually do not have the capacity to regulate themselves. They basically have no capacity for emotional regulation by themselves or regulating their actions. An adult has to help them co-regulate simply by being present with them and giving them their attention. And when there's not an adult present, when a kid experiences an overwhelming emotion or discomfort or something that he needs help regulating, it's going to overpower him, it's going to stress him out, and it's going to traumatize him in subtle ways. What I mean by traumatize is basically an experience that is overwhelming to the point where he can't process it, and he has to avoid it and push it into his shadow. He has to store it in his unconscious sort of mind, and it goes on to have longer lasting impacts on him. And simply by spending undistracted time with your kid, right? This is going to allow you to process those emotions with him. You have to be comfortable sinking down into feelings of shame, guilt, sadness, anger, frustration, restlessness. You have to actually learn how to process these emotions within yourself so that you can just help him to process them. And you help him to process them simply by being fully grounded with him and having the regulation skills yourself. He just will pick them up. It's just an instinctual and intuitive sort of exchange that's going to happen. They are going to pick up your regulation skills. A lot about children and parents today, but even in your intimate relationships, like actually spend an hour at night, maybe a few times a week, to just have undistracted time together. Go for a walk, no phone, no TV, no nothing, just you two, right? In your friendships as well. This is extremely powerful for just building the connection at a deeper and deeper level. Really just act on this video, right? Don't use it as just like more mental stimulation. That's such a good idea. Like actually take time to just cultivate the deeper connection through undistracted time. That's it for this video. I'm offering one-to-one coaching. You can book a free call. Link is in the description and the pinned comment. Take it easy.